Well, everybody, I have one of my favorite gardeners here, and you have to remember HGTV's indoor gardener and One Garden, Two Looks, which was so amazing. Who am I talking about? Well, not only is he a famous gardener, but he is a celebrity, and it's Denis Flanagan. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. It's great to see you.
We get so many questions when you're here, but what's amazing is people also ask about you.
Yeah.
So we need to just talk about, again, your background,
Right.
if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
And, because you're so special, I'm going to share a story with you that I haven't shared on air with anyone else before. How's that?
Awesome. Love it.
So, when I was 8 years old, in a country school in Britain, I did something bad. And
You did something bad? I find that shocking.
And so the headmistress sent me to the end of the soccer field, the end of the playing field, to cut a cane out of the hedge. And I had to, it was the longest walk in my life.
That was your punishment?
Yeah, I had to cut my own cane that I then got smacked with on my hands.
Oh, that's just wrong.
And so when people ask me what my first adventure in gardening was,
it was your own punishing stick. You created your own punishing stick.
And that's why I never include hedges in any of my designs.
That completely explains it.
So that was how I started in the business.
So here she was thinking she's punishing you, and boy, oh boy, the start of an incredible career. I love that story.
That was it.
There you go. Okay, now we need to tell people. I mean, you have done so much. You've given back. You're involved in so many aspects of the gardening community.
After that incident, I then went on to actually graduate from that school and went on to horticultural college and had some great times in Britain designing gardens, working for a nursery. We did the Chelsea Flower Show. We designed gardens for the royal family. It was just a fantastic time in my life. Then decided to be transplanted to Canada.
Across the pond. Came across the pond.
And continued a great career here, designing gardens, and now work for the Horticultural Trade Association. Yep. And as you know, a big part of what we do is educating the public about horticulture and landscaping.
All right, now let's talk about landscapeontario.com. Mm-hmm. Why is that so important? And people, you need to visit that website.
Yeah, it's a great website, actually. It's a great resource for people. If they've bought a house and they're thinking of landscaping, you can go there and get all sorts of ideas. Because the biggest problem is, it's like car shopping, it's like house shopping. You have to have some ideas. And so we put up there all sorts of design ideas, and contacts that you can get in contact with as regards a designer and contractor. We really promote the professional side of the business.
So hashtag hire an expert.
Yeah. I mean, I do spend some time receiving calls from people when it's too late. They've hired someone, a disaster has happened, and it's hard to get out of that situation. So we always recommend people check out references. They check out people have liability insurance, WSIB, because you don't want to be in a disaster situation. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, you've done so much. You give back. We love having you on this show on a regular basis. And we're going to talk about 10 things you should never do with your lawn. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So we're going to start with number 10 and then work our way up. Here we go. Number 10. Don't use salt to melt ice.
That's right.
Because we all do it.
We all do it, and there's lots of products out there.
Yep.
I'm not going to get into naming brands, but there's lots of products out there that you can buy that are a lot more friendly to your lawn. They don't leave that damage that we all see after the snow's disappeared. So think about it, and also think about where you're shoveling. If that's you can't do much about the municipality putting salt on the end of the driveway. Just be careful where you're shoveling it. You're not shoveling it onto your lawn. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What you do now may seem easy, but you're going to be paying for it later come spring. I hear you. Number 9. Never scalp your lawn. What do you mean by that?
Never scalp. That's great, isn't it? It's like scalping your hair. It looks ugly, and it happens early in the spring. People go out and they think they're going to give that short back and sides, that real scalp to their lawn, get it night growing. It's the worst thing that you can do.
Is it shocking to it?
Yeah, it's several things. It's shocking to it. It's opening up areas where weed seeds will grow, and grass needs to be constantly 2.5 to 3 inches high.
All right, everybody remember that. 2.5 to 3 inches high, constantly.
Constantly.
No need to ever go shorter than that.
No, absolutely not.
Number 8, in terms of things you should never do with your lawn, do not bag grass clippings. How come?
Yeah, you're throwing away fertilizer, basically. That's what you're doing. So if you take away the clippings, those clippings are natural fertilizer that if you leave them on the grass will send fertilizer back into the lawn. So please don't bag your clippings, leave them on the lawn. Much healthier lawn.
All right, if you're just tuning in, I have here with me celebrity gardener Denis Flanagan, and we're talking about 10 things you definitely do not want to do with your lawn. So let's go to number 7. You're saying do not cut wet grass. Really? Everybody does it.
Yeah, I know, but
But don't.
don't. Yeah, it just what it does is because it's wet, the blade grabs the grass and pulls it out of the ground. And chews up the grass, and it's just,
Sounds aggressive.
It sounds. If we've got a month and it hasn't dried out, maybe you have to, but try to avoid it, and that often means just leaving it to later in the day. That's all. Instead of cutting it at 7 in the morning, cut it at 7 in the evening, and the grass has had the day to dry out a little bit.
Very good. All right, number 6, don't over fertilize.
Yeah, don't waste your money. What that means is, and the biggest thing that bugs me the most is you watch people and they're fertilizing a lawn with one of those fertilizer spreaders, and they get close to the driveway and they fertilize the driveway. Well, that makes no sense.
He's looking at me.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Yes, that's me.
Because if you keep doing that, your driveway is going to get 10 inches higher every year. Don't.
All of a sudden, those cracks start to appear and those weeds come off for sure. Oh, I'm just learning right now, Denis, I do everything wrong. I love you. Number 5, in terms of what never to do with your lawn, don't cut the grass with a dull blade.
That's right. Don't cut your grass with a dull blade. I was going to say a dull person there for a minute, but a dull blade. Again, it's like the wet grass principle. If it's dull, it's going to grab the grass blades and pull it out of the ground. So either keep a file in your garage or shed, do it yourself, or take the blade off once or twice a year and take it down to the hardware store and they'll do it for you. And just like sharpening your hockey skates, you're going to be a heck of a lot better.
So maintain your cutting equipment.
That's right.
All right, another thing to add to your to-do list.
If you call me celebrity gardener, can I call you celebrity radio host?
You can call me whatever you want.
Well,
okay, behave. Okay, I'm going to take that back, not anything. Number 4, in terms of what not to do with our lawns, don't use poisons. We do, don't we?
We overuse them, We
want the quick fix, right?
Officially, it's been banned, most chemicals. And every year, someone at a show will come up to me and say, I've smuggled it across the border, Number 1, you shouldn't be telling me that. And number 2, I wonder what your neighbor thinks about it.
Yeah, and you know what? Even asking for it, you're getting that other person in so much trouble. Not a good idea. There's lots of other options available.
There's lots of options.
Number 3, we're talking about don't mow at noon. So peak sun and cutting the lawn, not a good recipe.
Not great. It's much better if it's been a dry week to get out early there. But I don't know why it is. We were having this little conversation earlier. Why is it that everyone waits to Sunday morning to cut their grass?
Don't you think it's because everybody feels good about it? Don't feel bad? You're always afraid of being that one person that's mowing your lawn and nobody else is. And then you're annoying everybody. Right?
I don't know.
I just think it's the friendly Canadian way.
I guess you can spread it out during the week.
Make life easier for
We're
yourself.
creatures of habit, aren't we?
That's
what we are.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it's also a good excuse to get out of the house. I'm just thinking.
Well, that's
time
true.
alone, mow the lawn, time by yourself.
I know. But
There's better things to do.
I'm a big soccer fan. That's when all the best games are on a Sunday morning.
Fair enough. Now you got number 2, which I kind of expected this to be number 1. So I don't even know what number 1 yet. I haven't flipped the page. But number 2, you have don't water too often.
Yeah, because for the same reason as wasting fertilizer, don't waste water.
And we do. We overwater.
Absolutely we do. And that's why, when you've got a street that's on a slope, the guy at the end of the street always has the greenest lawn. Because everyone's water runs down the street. So only water as much as it needs. Same as my, thing with the beef about the fertilizer. Have you seen people water their driveways?
Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely, fair enough. So when's the best time to water?
Best,
we're on that subject?
Well, there isn't really a best time that suits you. If you can do it early in the morning, it's a little bit better. But basically, it's when that plant or when that lawn needs it. And the way to gauge it is to try to get a little rain gauge, which you can just put in the lawn, and so that it's measuring the amount of water that
Just
you're putting
another
on.
thing I have to have.
A rain gauge.
A rain gauge.
Yeah.
Here we go. And number one, I just saw this and I'm kind of amazed. This is the number one thing. Not all mushrooms are bad. Dennis, where are you going with this? Not all mushrooms are bad.
You wonder why I stay so happy, don't you?
Yeah.
No, not all mushrooms are bad. It tells you what a mushroom is, an indicator plant. It tells you something about your soil.
Oh, okay.
So when you see mushrooms in a lawn, I will guarantee 9 times out of 10 there is decaying wood somewhere underneath that lawn. Someone has cut down a tree, left the stump, and it's decaying, and the mushrooms have bred on. So it tells you something about that lawn. People that have tiny little mushrooms around the lawn, just use sprinkle on horticultural lime, and it changes the pH and it gets rid of the mushrooms. So they're not always bad. There's, I'm sure you've had chefs on the show that'll tell you all the wonderful edible mushrooms that you can use. But it's an indicator that tells you what you should be doing with your garden.
Do you know what I love about you, Denis Flanagan? Every time you come, I learn something new. And more importantly, I learn what I'm really doing wrong. Oh, you are a wealth of information. How can people reach you?
Through landscapeontario.com. Please just leave us a question and we'll certainly get back to you. We love to help people be better gardeners, be better hiring people to help them in their garden too. And that's a big educational thing that we do. And the nice part about your show here, I know you support that big time, is hiring professionals, which is great.
Hashtag hire an expert.
Yeah.
Denis Flanagan, thank you so much.
Hey, my
for joining us.
pleasure.
You're the
Always a pleasure.
best.